Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Kid John Prince. In today's video, I'll be going over how to collect comic books, or just how to collect in general, but this one more specifically, how to collect comic books. Obviously, on this channel, you get my comic books and my comic book stands, and some other things I make within, like the anime, pop culture, comic book. And yeah, again, I'm not seasoned vet, so I'm just going over my own experiences. So hopefully it'll be beneficial to you. But let's get into it. Okay, guys, so let's get into this video, the topic, how you should collect comic books. But first, let's go like what that means, what that really means. So like, most of us, if you're buying comic books or collecting comic books, you're probably collecting more than just that. You're probably collecting figures, toys, action figures, hot toys. You're probably collecting like knick-knack stuff you see at cons, like keychains, like little figures, maybe like a little you know how it is, like a keychain holders, maybe like trading cards as well. You're probably buying art, original art, or some art that fits to like your favorite character, like your theme of collecting. So like, yeah, it's just like a con. It's like this big old storm. And comic books is the exact same way. When collecting comic books, it's the exact same way. It's just one big storm you have to throw your money at. So think of that and keep that in mind while I'm talking, because I think we all do that. So like the first bullet point I've written down is envision your collection. Now this is like kind of like a hard thing to explain, but let's use, like, I'm obviously talking, so let's use like my experiences and like my stuff as a baseline. So my favorite character, superhero, hero, whatever, is Wolverine. He's always been my guy since I was a kid, mostly teenager, preteen, but he's always been my favorite. Wolverine, he's the best at what he does. So that he's always been my guy. So when I envision my collection, especially now, but even when I was starting to collect, I always wanted Wolverine things. I wanted Wolverine keys. I wanted Wolverine like variants, like beautiful variants. I wanted Wolverine art, stuff you can put on the wall. I wanted Wolverine keychains, toys. Like I want all that. So envision your collection. How do you see it? Like when you close your eyes, what do you see? That kind of thing. And just like go from there, because I think that's a good starting off point. Okay, so next up here is not something new. I did not make this one up, but buy what you love. Now, if you go on YouTube and type up this this topic, how you should collect comic books, where you should buy, everyone and their mom is probably gonna tell you, buy what you love. And that's awesome advice. You should be doing that. I follow that, and you should too. So if you stick to that, you're most likely you're not gonna get burned as much, because if you're just buying whatever you want, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're most likely going to feel burned because, like for me, right? Like Joker. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Joker. I do like the Joker. There's nothing wrong with him. I'm not like the biggest fan of the Joker. So, like the 3 Jokers that just came out for DC, even though I do think Joker is the Batman's best villain, he's one of the best villains out there. And like, I should just be interested in general because like I believe in all that stuff, but I don't love him as much. So I'm not gonna be buying like that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So if you just buy what you love and at least stick around that, like if you love Wolverine like I do, it's like maybe just buy like other Marvel books within that realm, like obviously X-Men. I try to buy X-Men stuff as well. So again, buy what you love, stick to that. You can play around with it, but it's a good way to start. And honestly, it's the best way to collect. Okay, the next point here is you have to know yourself. Now, this is like a life lesson. Like obviously, if you step out of the box of collecting comic books or just collecting in general, and you just know yourself like that, then your life will probably be a little easier. But so if you bring it back to collecting comic books, if you know yourself, your collecting experience will be a lot easier. So like for instance, if you're like an impulse buyer, if you love just spending money, if like money burns a hole in your pocket, which my mom would tell me when I was a kid, it's okay. You know, like if you're impulsive, it's fine. Just make sure if you're gonna buy impulsively, just to check those points I was talking about earlier. You know, is it part of your envision? And did you envision this book, or is this stuff in your collection? Is it something you love? You know, if it's fits those check boxes, then it might be okay. You know, to impulse buy. Like, you know, it's like, say, like, you know, Wolverine. I love Wolverine. That's my guy. So if I am going to impulse buy, which I do sometimes, and again, it's okay, I'm most likely gonna impulse buy Wolverine things because I love Wolverine and it's part of my vision of my collection. So you just gotta know yourself. If you're a patient person, you already won a lottery. You're fine. You just gonna wait it out and chill, and that's okay. So yeah, guys, just know yourself, know your buying habits, and just work around that. Okay, guys, so the next point here is set a budget and stick to it. Now, someone says it's the most important, maybe the most important point when collecting comic books or just collecting in general. But I understand that, and I don't have like a big anti-argument to that. But I will say is, it's okay if you go over budget. Now, I'm not saying to make myself feel better. I'm saying this to make sure you feel better. I'm just playing, but we all been there. Like, we all have gone over budget. It's okay. It happens. Just make sure, like, say for instance, you want to spend like $100 a month on comic books. Either that's like back issues, like maybe like some keys, or just like modern books that come out weekly, you know, or like a mix in between. Whatever is how you want to do your budget and collect your way. If you go over your budget, it's okay. Just make sure like you don't go over it too much. And if you go over like 1 or 2 months, just make sure that those next 2 months or those next 3 months, whatever it is, just try to go under budget as much as possible. So it's like, you know, it evens out over time. So like if you do $100 a month, 100 times 12 months in a year, 1,200. If you go over your budget, I don't know, 50 times, if you go over budget $50 each month, that's what an extra $600 adds to that. So that's $1,800 a year that you're spending on comic books, which is like, when you think about it, that's like not a lot, but over time, if you're buying books over and over again, that's a lot of money. And plus, like that number could be to someone else chump change. So just stick to a budget. Create one, stick to one. And if you go over it, it's okay. Just make sure you just go under your budget so it evens out over time. Okay, the last point I want to bring up is one that is definitely helpful for newer people to collecting comic books or just collecting in general is don't be afraid to ask people. Don't be afraid like, to speak up or like ask questions. So that's on eBay. That's like on Instagram, Facebook, any platform that you can like buy something. Don't be afraid to ask it. Don't even be afraid to ask, like you go to a convention, you know. I know it can be intimidating, especially at a convention. There's like all these people, all these booths. It's like one big old like alley, and with COVID, probably a little different, but like before, it'd just be a bunch of people dressed up however they want to be dressed up that day. And it's just like, what the hell's going on? So, or like, what do I do? You know? So if you're a newer collector, if you see a book you like, if you see a book you want, and it's like not on sale, or it's not part of like, you know, a sale they have going on, like don't be afraid to ask it. You know, if it has like a sticker on it, it's like, you know, obviously some more knowledge for you can like you the base like a price, but don't be afraid to ask, you know, because like I'm pretty sure the person at that booth selling that book wants to sell it because they want to just move inventory. You know, like there's those people that just want to get their maximum value of every book, and you know what, that's okay too, even though it's not like, I don't think that strategy in itself is like effective for all books. You know, there's some books you should definitely be trying to get like your max value out of. But then there's some books that's like, you know what, just keep it moving, keep it going. It's just like, you know, cash flow. So don't be afraid to ask. It's like, especially on eBay, guys, like one trick that I've been doing on eBay, I don't know if you guys are doing it too, so let me know in the comment section if you're doing this, if you have done this trick as well. But like, say you buy you're looking at a lot, right? Or some books on eBay, and like on eBay you can just like heart it or like it, and like that means like you're watching it, you know. And sometimes if you like do that, and like a couple of days later, maybe in a day later, you will get like an offer for that same listed item, but like at a discounted price. Now, I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's eBay doing it or the seller doing it. I don't know like who's doing that, but it's still discounted from the listed price. So like recently, a Wolverine book that I've been wanting to get like another copy of my collection, it was listed like at $100 shipped, and that's like fair market value for the book and the condition it's in, for like the ages it's from too. It's not a bad price for that book, and like I wouldn't mind paying it, but I also wouldn't mind paying less for it. So I did the same thing. I like hit that the heart on it, the like on it, and a couple days later, I got an offer from that seller, or just I got an offer for that book, the same book, and for like 30% off. And I was like, what, for real? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. But if you do this, sometimes it'll just be like the offer decline or accept. Sometimes they'll be like make a counter offer. There'll be a third option. And so always take advantage of that, you know, because like if that's eBay or the seller reaching out trying to sell that book, that means they're trying to sell that book. So if they give you another option to bring that price down, don't be afraid to do that, you know? So go ahead and make that counter offer, which I did. Offered 50. He came back with 60. I hit him with 55, and then boom, I bought the book. It was easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and I got for like $63 shipped. And so I basically saved almost 40% off that book. And like, again, the fair market value for that book was fair. Like it was a decently priced book, and I wouldn't be mad if I bought that book for that price. But again, I wouldn't be mad if I paid less for it. So don't be afraid to ask people, especially at conventions. I know it's, like I said, it's very intimidating, especially like talking to people like you are, they're like kind of strangers, but like you haven't met them before, kind of stranger, like a stranger danger kind of thing. So especially on Instagram or on Facebook, like don't be afraid to ask. Like even if they say no in a mean way, it's like, well then like now you know you shouldn't be buying it from the first place, you know, because some people who are like asked questions, especially some sellers, they just like want it, like some of them just want to sell their books at the price they have listed. And if you ask anything above that, they think it's like insulting. And like, you know, that's fair because if that's their book, they have the right to feel any type of way. They have the right to list that book at any price they want to. But it's also your right as a consumer and a buyer to be like, yo, can I get this a little cheaper? It's fair for you to do that too. So like, don't feel bad. Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to speak up, because again, a closed mouth doesn't get fed, right? So don't be afraid to ask for a little discount, or like, you know, a little communication, because I'm pretty sure, man, like part of this community, or one of the things about this community is like, once you buy something from someone one time, it's just a lot easier to buy from them again, because like, you know what? They're cool. Like, it's like, that's a bond. That's a relationship. That's a purchase. That's like something that's like connected you guys, and like not in like no weird spiritual way, but like that's something that you guys did together. And like, if it's positive, they probably wanted to repeat that, you know, that same process and have another positive experience. So again, don't be afraid to ask, guys. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed those points there. Let's go over them one more time before we head out. Envision your collection. Buy what you love. Know yourself and your buying patterns. Set a budget and stick to it. And don't be afraid to ask. Communication is key. Okay, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Let me know in the comment section below if this added to anything, that you learned something new, if you found it helpful. If you disagree with it, you want to add to it, please do all that in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos, guys. And then don't forget, be the best at what you do.